Hello, 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 people. Welcome to button. Hello, hello, hello. I don't know. I muted myself, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to get that in a second.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. This is the trip. I got Spencer with me. How you doing, Spencer? Spencer is not on the floor, so guess what? They allowed him to sit upright on a chair. How you doing?
We got visitors, so I figured I'd vacate everybody so they could have their visit.
All
So
right. Cool, cool, cool.
daughter's got a boyfriend over, so there.
Ah, all right.
Of course, we make them sit downstairs in the living room. You know the drill.
Yeah. Did you put the shovel next to the door, the muddy boots and shovel by the door?
No, we know where they are.
No, no, no.
Readily.
Did you? No, no. That's not. That's not. That has nothing to do with where they are. That sends a message. Supposedly, at least I always my thought has always been muddy boots and a shovel usually sends a message.
He knows what's up.
He
knows what's up.
I always been kidded at that. I never did it.
You're fine. You're
But, all right, we'll say hi to some people and we'll get going. You got Arsenal Misfit in the house. Thanks for joining us from the north. How are things doing up there? Got Roseanne. Yes, the original Homer. Donuts. Got Arsenal Daily Wag in the house. Thanks for joining us once again. Yes, he says, Steve, are you well? Yes. Got Brenny in the house. Brenny, yes. West London gents, yes, from around the way. Yep. Oh, that's right. Arsenal Daily Wag is coming to us from Kenya. Welcome to the show. We've got also the signature 7585. I wish they would just put that names back. I don't understand what that was all about. I'd like to know what you really want to call yourself, because usually the signature 758 is probably not what you want to be called, but that's what we got. Okay. Also, Tiger and Goon is in the house. Welcome to the show from Australia. Welcome, welcome. All right. Is BX in the gunner? BX is not here, is he? Did I miss BX? No.
I haven't seen him yet. I've talked to him today, but I haven't seen him yet.
All right. You talked to him in some chats or something?
Yeah, just texting back and forth.
All right. So, North London Derby. As far as I knew, this was going to. Oh, before we go, guess who has showed up? It is BX Gunner. He has showed up. Welcome to the show. Oh, this thing is. You know what? Streamer was a little slow today. I clicked the button and it didn't do anything. Welcome to the show, BX. Thanks for joining us. Yes. So Arsenal, North London Derby. A lot of people said it was going to be a tough one, even though they ain't that good, right? North London Derby. We have been struggling. What, 2 wins in 7? We needed something. You needed to showcase that we are good. I know coming into the game, I don't know how you felt, but I needed at least a 2+ goal lead to show that, look, we're not struggling still to manage ourselves in the games that we should be winning. I don't know how you felt going into the game. Let me know.
Nervous, anxious. But again, like that feeling that I have, nervous, anxious. This doesn't matter if we're playing Spurs. I'm always nervous. I'm always anxious. I'm always kind of like scared about the ramifications of always losing that game, regardless of what the table says. It's a rivalry game. I mean, I feel the same way when it comes to the Broncos playing the Chiefs, Raiders, or Chargers. There's always that. So, yeah, I felt that, I don't think the Wolves results really impacted where I was feeling. I mean, I know we talked about this on Saturday, and maybe I felt a little better. Of course, winning always heals everything, right? Especially when you can do a dramatic 4-1 win as we did. But there was definitely nervousness. There's definitely anxiousness. I think the title challenge itself has weighed on the fans. I think they'd be lying to themselves if they didn't say that out front. I think anyone that we know is honest. But we don't. But we're the ones that don't have to deal with the pressure. So the players are the ones that have to show up, perform, and they did on Sunday. But yeah, I felt nervous and anxious, and rightfully so. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get further into it. But that was my feeling.
Yep. Yep. Cool. Cool. Nope. Definitely a perfect response from us. That's kind of what I wanted to see. Even though I'm going to have some negative things to say about the game because I like to look at what could have made it perfect. But we'll get into that and then some. For those who didn't know, the shopping hat's on sale from the Arsenal Direct. I don't know why we're pushing that, but DX is. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess we'll start with the lineup for me. Basically, the back five. Actually, we can change our entire back five, and I still won't be concerned these days. Maybe against a City game, maybe against a Bayern Munich, Barcelona, maybe. But I think in most games, we could switch our entire back five, and I still will feel confident based on the way that we've been playing. We've got starters sitting on our bench, basically in every position on that back five. So back five, usual. Our double pivot, I think is what you call it, right? A double pivot.
Yeah,
Rice and Zubamendi. That's going to be our go-to. I think a lot of people. I was hoping. I guess I've been either reading either listening to people, and a lot of people don't really like the Zubamendi Rice combo because they don't feel like it gives us the attacking prowess that we need. I don't know how you feel about that, but I
disagree to what they're saying, and and it comes down to the 10 position, right? It comes down to Eze. It comes down to Havertz. It comes down to Odegaard. Odegaard obviously plays a little deeper than Havertz and Eze does, but to really kind of key into the strengths of Havertz was a 10 in Germany, was excellent. So if we have a double pivot and we go back to that, I think you can highlight Eze and Havertz's strengths a lot more efficiently by having a double pivot. Where you could get me on the double pivot argument is might like to see no guard occasionally, right? But that's okay.
Actually, it's not even occasionally. He should just be part of a rotation.
Right. And I still think they were right to start Zubamendi. I just expected a substitution for Zubamendi. I mean, the minutes that Timber and Zubamendi have put in this year is extraordinary, and it's irrational. But anyway, I was expecting that. But
your cat's going for a ride.
Your
cat's going for a ride.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a he's an interesting.
I didn't expect to see that. You want to help him out? He looks like he's trying to get it started. He must have some long legs. Uh-oh.
Sorry.
You froze on me there, or I froze. I don't know.
No, you're fine. No, he does some weird stuff. But yeah, the lineup was fine. I do like the double pivot based on what it does for from a 10 role perspective.
Yeah. No, I think when we get punished by that double pivot is when Erdogan is in there, because then nobody is moving the ball. Nobody's further up the pitch and wants to get into the attack formation, as because you're not expecting Zubamendi and Rice to do that. And and until something changes, I don't think they have that enough skill set to do that right now. So yeah, I did love the front four, or the four attacking players. I'm hoping that this is a sign of things to come. That as they can, because I think it doesn't matter where he goes, just he needs to start. I've always said that, and I still believe that. If this means Erdogan has to sit, then I think that's what we do. And maybe there's some rotation there. Erdogan will get a little bit of fire, and maybe we'll see something different come out of him. I think he needs to have that, because I want him out there like punishing people, and right now he's just out there just getting a good sweat in. Sack out right, Trossard, and then Gyökeres. I think the Gyökeres this is kind of what we may have gotten in that Newcastle game if we were able to finish, because they did have opportunities similar to what they got in that game than they got in this one. Gyökeres with a strike from just outside the box, but we'll get into each one of those shots later on. But yeah, I was happy with that front four. I think Trossard. I don't think he can play every game, but I do think he. If we're going with our strongest and he's rested, he should play. What do you think about that attacking four?
I was fine with it. It's obviously who I wanted. Again, the Trossard Martinelli thing, we're gonna disagree on this, and that's fine. But and I need to send this to you. But if you get a chance to check out, I think Turkish had Hugh Wizzy on, and James, and of course Jordan, and it was a discussion from like the 24th minute to about the 39th minute about Yorkeres and how Arsenal are set up, and the Trossard Martinelli wasn't brought up, but the whole thing is about what they do defensively too, and how the team's set up not to lose. But that's kind of how the game is evolving just in general. And you can see like this, the whole Premier League has kind of just changed in general. That's an interesting conversation that they had regarding it. But I was thinking about Trossard and Martinelli, and I like Trossard based on his effort when he loses. If he loses the ball, he fights back for it. Like, I don't have to worry about that. Whereas Madueke, when he loses the ball, he might get in his feels. So I like the fact that Trossard was starting in this game. I feel like Trossard's still a super sub in my mind. But I think I think it was good to start him on Sunday. I don't think that was a wrong decision based on what we saw from Martinelli in the previous games.
Yeah, no, the only reason why I say Trossard starts is because we have nobody else. That's why I say that. Like if you told me we're going to bring in a left wing, I say that left wing is going to come in to be a starter for us, not to compete. He would have the qualifications to be our starter for us with barely any. He should be an issue there. So that's the only reason why. That's the only reason why I don't even bring it up. Is like, no, if it like, because right now our options are what? Trossard, Martinelli,
and you can throw Eze if you wanted to out there, but you're probably not going to.
Yeah,
you could even throw Saka out there, but
when you put Saka, it's Saka and Madueke usually, right? The reason why we do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at it and you're doing a depth chart like we do in America. You're probably looking at Trossard Martinelli as your starting left wings, that interchangeable. Your Yorkeres and Jesus, and then Madueke Saka. I mean, that's what you're looking at for your front three.
True. Yeah, no, but I enjoyed that front four. Looking forward to seeing them do something, and they did. So I'm going to take that for what it was. I don't think Trossard was more as involved as I thought he would be in a game like this. Didn't seem to be anyways. I mean, that might be a good thing because we were getting so much from Eze and Yorkeres and even Saka. He's going to have to take a step back. So that's kind of the thing, right? I mean, those three players, through the middle and up the right, basically were dominating this game. And hope, I don't know how you felt. Saka looked really good doing what he was doing. Whether or not he that he can keep that up, can he? He went out with an injury, but can he keep that up? I mean, what he was doing was really, really good. Too bad he did not score. He should have scored at least one or two of the opportunities he had, especially the one where, I mean, I think he just had to chip the goalkeeper and wasn't able to get past the goalkeeper, but it ended up being a goal anyways. But
he created the assist for the first Eze goal.
Yeah.
His inability to put the ball over the keeper on the third goal gave Eze a second goal. Yeah. So again, like, I think the numbers aspect of this, and again, like, I need to send you that one. You need to watch that podcast. I thought it was just a good discussion all over the place based on, where Arsenal are, where they're heading, how the left wing, the striker. It's just an interesting discussion just to get potentially a different perspective, maybe a perspective that I've kind of agreed with. Again, like, we always look for echo chambers to confirm our biases on things. That's just how we are as humans. But Saka was so good on Sunday, and I feel like, and I don't want to go into the contract thing, but when you have that level of a contract, right, there's a level of expectation from you, and it's also kind of a reward from the club for, like, hey, you're being a good servant and everything. And he's been a good servant for the club, and he is the face of Arsenal Football Club. And I think he took that game. Granted, he had Jed Spence in his pocket the whole game, and Jed Spence got abused pretty much the whole game. But I thought Saka was really good. I think he was unlucky to not get a goal, but I still was very happy what I got from him. Hopefully he's okay, and it's not something that's long term. But if we're looking at where we are in the running, and there's 10 games left, City have 11. We want to see him start to pick up now, right? We're getting about to be March in 7 days, or actually 5 days. We want to see him pick it up, and I think Sunday we can talk about Spurs levels and all they are. I don't care about that. You still have to perform, and I feel like the team and Saka, everything went to the right on him, and he was on it, man. And he was unfortunate not to get a goal. So
Cool. Your cat's back. It's cool to see.
McKinnon.
Yes,
Sorry.
we are. As BX says, we're kicking ass, taking names. Yeah, we did that. Yeah, we just got to do it again. That's the problem. We need to consistently show these kind of results. The Arsenal misfit. I was furious after the Wolves game. If Mr. Greenwood thought I was anti-Arteta before that game, he would have hit under the his chair for the rant I would have had if I had not avoided social media. Yeah, the Wolves match. That played out the way it did, but I mean that's one of those where I think Arteta needs to he needs to he wants to play defense, but he needs to play, get the defense that he wants out of his offense. Meaning, we need to put pressure on them, especially teams that are giving away goals. I don't think we have shown already like the writing's on the wall. We cannot close out a game. We just sit back. Right? We can't. In my eyes, we can't do that. We haven't shown the consistency to do that, so we shouldn't even try. We should just continue to play our football through the 90, and put pressure on them, and that kind of keeps them at bay. When we sit back, we just get punished sometimes. When we play a little passive, we just get punished. So I kind of feel like, you know what, just play your 90, and that's why you have a deep bench, so you can play your 90, right? That's the thing. If we're gonna, because when we change, I don't like when we change out of the formation and structure that we have. That's how I feel about that.
Well, again, like this is the reality of this. Miles Lewis Skelly, even though we haven't seen it yet, when you're playing this inverted fullback stuff that we've seen from time to time, he can sit as a holding midfielder if need be, right next to Rice, or right next to Zubamindi, whoever you want to put there. It doesn't matter, or no guard.
Yep.
So, we got. Do you want me to go into it? Because we got the early goal, very good from Eze, off of good pressure, well deserved. And then Rice tries to motivate the team, ironically.
Yeah.
And then he pitter patters on the ball. I really don't think there's anybody good enough to beat Arsenal except Arsenal beating themselves. I've said this to you, like I think
you look at every game that we've lost at. The only one that I think a team took it to us was the Sunderland game.
Give me 1 second.
I really and truly think that they did. We'll get out. We'll talk. I'll go through the chat when you come back. We'll continue. We've got BBK in the house. Welcome to the show, Tehran. Thanks for joining us. BX Gunner saying who can play on the left? Saka as Jesus, as a Martinelli, Trossard, or even Noni can play on the left. Yeah, I get that. We got like lots of numbers there, but in reality, we have two. And the reason why I say we have two is because I just don't feel like we need. If we're going to talk about having the depth and all of that, then we might as well just two is a good number, at least for every position on the pitch, so that we can rotate, so that we can give players a break at the end of a game when we need to refresh some things. The way, because Arteta just does like for like anyway, so if he's going to do that, then there's only two players for me. So yeah, I get it. We have lots of options at the left, but in reality, it's Martinelli and Trossard. Saka is a distant third, fourth option. You're not going to take your best player in their best position and even put them on the other side. It makes no sense. I think you just weaken two sides of the play of the field when you do that. We used to do it all the time, right? We would take a player out of their strongest position, put him in another position, and then weaken two positions essentially. Why don't you just rotate your support to the weaker side? Like you do in some sports, right? If you realize you're a little weak on the left, then you edge to the left defensively to make sure you have coverage. That's kind of how I feel like that should work. Yeah, BBK's agreeing with all the left options. I just feel like we should only have two. You look at our back four, right? You have players on your back four that can play a lot of the same positions, but in reality, you're only using two. All right, we have more than enough right wings and left wings and center backs, but they have their, for the sake of continuity and resting, I think you should Should only have the 2. And I like the way we've worked it. Bargav's in the house. Welcome to the show, Bargav. Big up. What's a good Odegaard expectation rest of the season? I'll let you answer this one first.
Do you want to? I don't know. I was going to ask if you want to like maybe star that, and we could come back to it. That's up to you. I mean,
yeah, we can come back because I think we want to get into the game. So
yeah, we can come back.
March is going to be very interesting. Yep, it will be. It will be. But it's. I think we have the depth for it. So, and until Havertz comes back, that's the only kind of the big question mark, I think, for us. For him to chip in the way he did against Spurs. But I even said the word. You got me saying the word there, BX. Yuck.
We can talk
Rice
about
episode,
clubs like that.
That Rice episode was more likely due to mental fatigue than anything else. He has played a lot of football already, and there's still a lot of play for, a lot to play for. He needs a break. Now, I've been saying that all along that all of a lot of our reasons why we are having poor play is because we don't rotate enough, give these players enough breaks, enough rest. And as you said, you saw it. The man knows mentally what we need to do, but physically, or I think physically, he just didn't. He just had a brain fart, right? I mean, defender, clear that ball out of there if you're in dire straits, and reset and get ready for the next play if you really don't know what to do. But like just the way he just nonchalantly just dribbled. We did that a lot. We do that a lot. We dribble in such a way that the defender can just take the ball off of us. Martinelli did it in the game as well. He comes down on the attack and on the left-hand side and basically allows whoever it is coming off that left side to just step in and take the ball off of his feet. Should never happen. We should have a little bit more better protection there. But yeah, let's get into it. The game. I'll go with the first goal. If you want to add some more to it, you can. But the first goal, I know Saka with a nice breakdown, and I think the ball he's able to, if I recall,
nutmeg.
He's able to nutmeg. And I don't know if he did it on purpose, but it played out that way, right? It played out that way. It's just the ball. It comes from a throw in the 31st minute, I think. Ball gets cleared out of there, but then we reset after Eze does a volley, and boom! It's a nice one from Timber. Gets the ball. I got the game going in here, and the ball the defender almost gets there, but the ball trickles between his feet, so it looks like a nutmeg. Ends up Saka crosses it. When I first looked at it, I thought, "Oh, what is Eze doing?" But you see, the ball is actually behind him. But he does a really good job to control it off of his back foot, and then just volleys it, just rifles it home. Very nicely done there. And that's the thing that Eze gives you. That's the thing that we need. We need players that can do that. And before we get going, we got I have never had one of these, but we've got what they call it, a raid from the Kuna channel. Thanks for joining us. It looks like a one-man raid.
Know what that means.
But that's all you need. You just need Dan anyways, and then we got the raid. So thanks for joining us. But like I said, that first goal, very nicely done. Looked like nothing was going to happen. Looked like the defender was going to be able to make a break, but we took advantage of every mistake. The ball trickles between the leg, next thing you know, boom, goal. Right. So I don't know what you have to say about that one.
I mean, it's good to go. I think if you really look at all of Eze's 5 goals, and a lot of it's been kind of being in the right spot at the right time and outside the penalty box or inside it. And the first one's just really good. I mean, it's finishing the dinner. It's finishing and making the adjustmts. And the good run by Saka nutmegs the player. I think the player got a foot on it and just lost it really. And I think it was just the Spurs player was unlucky, and Saka punished him for it. And we haven't seen Saka beat the man on the outside, a lot this year. He's kind of seemed like to struggle with that at times. But he did it on that one, and as they put it in the back of the net. So, and that started it early. And I think that was the 35th minute. And
31st minute when that first.
Again, if we take in the delay from the first, that'd have been the 25th minute if we're being honest, right?
Yeah.
So that's a good start. Really happy with that. It was a good goal, man. I mean, it's an exciting moment. We'll get into the Eze thing a little further into what it means, just big picture for Arsenal, because I think it's a monumental moment of a guy that was kind of criticized based on what we've seen. I know some people on this channel are critical of him. I think I've been critical of him at times, probably unrightly, sometimes rightly. But this man has come in here and scored 5 goals against our rival.
Yep.
And single-handedly won the first game for us and scored 2 enough to win the second game for us. That's 6 points he's responsible for right there, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's got the game-winning goal, right?
Yeah.
Is it a game-winning goal? No, he doesn't have the game-winning goal. But
if you compare what they scored, what we scored, to me, you could argue, so that in itself is going to put him down somewhere in Arsenal history, depending on how the season ends.
Yep. I mean, I think when I was looking at it, the most goals in a North London derby, I think, is like 7 or 11 or something like that. So he's not. I think it's 7. It's either 7 or 9. I can't remember which one it is. Maybe it's 9. But I mean, if he continues to play like that, he might, plays for another 2 to 3 years. He'll probably get to those numbers. So very, very, very good strike from him. Then comes the, as you said, the brain fart from one of our leaders, basically talking a big game and didn't back it up. And I don't, like I said, I feel like that is why that's why we need to use our depth. But that right there, he knows exactly what needs to be done. He knows what happens, right? After we score a goal. And still it ended up happening, right? It ended up happening, and it was from him. Right.
It's a dangerous play too, what he was doing with the ball anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I was actually, since we're already here at that point, and I actually was looking at the Premier League drop points table, and we could probably bring it up later, but that was the thought that passed my mind during that game was, well, dadgummit, now it's 1-1. Are we going to drop points here? And I think every Arsenal fan thought it. If they tell you they didn't, I mean, you were on a stream, so maybe there's evidence of people on the stream feeling confident Arsenal are going to get back in, which I thought they were too, but there's still that doubt. What you witnessed last week against Wolves and then what you witnessed on Sunday, there's just like, okay, the Brentford game, we dropped points from winning position. The Wolves, we dropped points from winning position, and now we've seen a trend. And obviously didn't turn out that way, but we can get into that further because the numbers we're actually a lot better off from points from winning position compared to the rest of the league. Perception versus reality does not back up the Arsenal choke it when they go from winning position.
When we score first in the first half, we don't usually drop points.
Yeah,
we usually get a win. I think there's a few times. I don't even know if we've gotten a draw from a winning position, to tell you the truth.
Brentford.
Oh, Brentford is the one.
Yeah, we were up 1-1 on that one, and of course Wolves we were up 2-0.
Yeah. Well, very true. Of late, we've been giving it up.
And of course, Tottenham this weekend we did too. But
but we scored first. That's the trick in a lot of these things, is that we score first, and usually it goes our way. So that was that. Now my thing was we need to respond immediately. It didn't happen until the second half, right? I mean, we did have opportunities after that, and it's like, look at what they were doing. They were doing nothing, right? That team basically was not going to get anything out of this game. So we gave them a goal, and it's just a matter of time before we got ours, because we weren't getting opportunities. We just weren't able to finish for that, basically that 30, it's just about 35 minutes of football, essentially. So, but yeah, the time was coming. Next goal up. It's a Eucharist strike from just outside the 18. Timber gets a ball into him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a little time, and he steps to his right and then puts a foot through it. What do you think about that?
Excellent, and it was a great response too, because it was right after halftime. I think it was 2 minutes right after halftime. And Yorker has responded and got himself on the board. Another person that's had the scrutiny on him. Look at this game, right? Game against our biggest rivals. Our 2 biggest signings of this summer scored 4 of the goals, all 4 of them. A good strike by him. I did find it ironic. They compared, I think it was the Premier League. They put the 2018 4-2 win over Spurs. the pass that I think Bellerin hit to Aubameyang, and Aubameyang touched it to the corner, and Gyökeres had to do a touch, then finished it. But either way, similar looking goals. Great response. That's what you want. And I think at that point, the response after that, we kept going for that third. I think that's something I noticed differently. And I don't know if that was contributing to blood in the water with them. I don't know if they felt like, all right, well, that's it. Because if you really look at that first half, outside of that one goal, they really didn't have any. They didn't really test Raya that I can remember. They weren't. I think they had 26% possession in that first half. It was pathetic. So it was kind of unfair to go to the half at 1-1. But again, that's how this game works. If you switch off, you'll get punished, especially in the Premier League. That was a good response. And a good goal by Gyökeres. And great pass by Timber. I've heard people, Timber needs a break. 100% agree on that. I was upset. I texted my buddy Matt. I was like, man, I'd love to see White come on here shortly. He said, oh, he's on a team sheet. And I'm like, okay. Well, who came on afterwards for him? I know we're going to pivot to this, but Christian Mascara.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Good was he filling in for Timber?
Oh, just in general, he's been good. Every time he's come onto the pitch for us, basically. So, no, he's been great. I mean, since he comes on in Anfield and we don't miss a beat, right? Don't miss a beat. So he's been good since then, and for the money spent, it's worth more than any defender we've ever we've gotten in a long time.
And if you're Benny Blanco at this point, someone just potentially is now competing for that extra fullback spot.
Yep. And and that's because and that's just because we have two of the best center backs, all right? So
for sure.
That's kind of the thing there. Let me go through the chat real quick. We'll get to it. So Dan did join us. Yeah. Oh wait, there's a lot. Did I miss all of this? Oh man, I guess I did. Yep. The thing with the Rice incident was that he tried to be brave and create confidence. The alternative was to kick it out and would have panicked the boys. Yeah, but if he just booted it up the pitch, then at least it looked like he was trying something. But he basically just dribbled into danger, which is what we do a lot of times. Usually we're dribbling into danger, but it's just not danger, but we're just giving the ball away when we do that on the attacking side. Defensively, you live to fight another day, and you boot it out and go, I did that on purpose, not a mistake. That's the difference, right? He's like, I didn't see anything. I'm just going to clear this, and we're going to reset because you guys aren't in the right position. I have nobody to pass the ball to, and at least put it on somebody else. But dribbling the way he did just created even a big an issue.
You've taught that to kids when you coach soccer. I mean, hey, if you're in doubt and we're defending, kick it out of bounds.
Yeah. When I coach the little kids, that's the one thing I would say. I say, you know what? Nobody has ever in the history of football scored from out of bounds. It cannot be done. So worst case scenario, if you don't know what to do, boot it out. We'll reset the defense and we'll figure it out from there.
And especially in youth, there's one ball. So send them going.
So send it out. Yeah. That is a weird thing. And you know what? That should send a message to Arteta that, look, these guys are mentally drained more than they are physically, probably. Just as much. Sorry, I shouldn't say, but just as much. And that creates even problems for you. We say, why are these guys doing these silly things at points in the game, and it's probably because they don't get a rest mentally.
It's also conceding a set piece is what set pieces have changed in this game. If you look at where the ball was at, I think the right thing to do was to clear it. I'm saying this just as a devil's advocate. I don't agree with my position I'm about to say, but the concession of a throw in at that position has everybody in the Premier League worried. Because
that's why he could have turned up the pitch and just booted it long.
No, I agree. But the whole concession of don't kick the ball out of bounds, the set piece, everything is wrapped around fear of set pieces.
Yeah,
I think the game's changed.
Yeah. Bertaz got some decisions to make. I assume you mean with Mascara maybe, but attacking wise, we probably still need more attacking. So we'll see.
We're still in 4 competitions. We can talk about better decisions in the summer. We're not at that point.
Yeah. No one can be perfect, especially on. Yeah, no, I'm not saying it, but you know what? You don't want your captain to do that one, especially. It would be one thing if somebody else said it, and then he did it, but he said it, and then he did it. You know what I mean? So yeah, would like to see more Norgard more this season. I don't know. This StreamYard is acting out weird. I press the button, it doesn't do anything, and then it eventually responds to my click. Can you guys hear me? Or Spencer, you muted yourself?
I muted
Oh,
myself.
okay. No, I was just wondering. It sounded like I was like, where'd you go? But yeah, would
Still
would
was
like to.
changing the smoke detector thing, so I didn't want it to beep. So yeah.
Yeah. No, we definitely want to see. I definitely want to see more of Norgard because I think it's going to help us in the midfield,
Yeah.
especially in games like maybe not Chelsea game, but I mean he could have played in the North London derby. That's I think the quality he possesses. You can give us that. Yeah, but what a man. Yeah, welcome Dan and Brenny to the house. Yes, yes. Check out the links here. Check out Brenny's show. He does a show with some what's going on? Reaction show every so often. Dan, of course, is on Tuesdays and Sundays, I believe it's, and sometimes Fridays, doing his movie talk. Check that out. All right, everybody saying hello, hello. Saka needs to use more intelligence now, a bit like Perez did. Changed his game after a big injury and used it to devastating effect. The thing is, more intelligent than what he was already doing. I think he was given just maximum intelligence before, and I think that for me, nothing really. He doesn't really have to change his game because he was already I believe, an intelligent play to begin with.
I think we need to change our reliance on Saka, if anything.
Yeah.
Right?
We need to what?
Change our reliance on him. So what I mean by that is find different avenues of approach, right? You can still use Saka to start some of the attacks, but sometimes use a left wing with Trossard, use it with Martinelli, running with a 10 with Eze, running through the middle. Like if a team's going to, like in Europe, Europe is going to be such an interesting one when that competition starts. I mean, we saw today Bodo Glimt eliminated Inter Milan, so which is wild times how that competition is going to go down. It's probably going to be 4 English teams left to the final 8, in my opinion, but we're going to have opportunities to change how we attack in this running. But I think changing the reliance on Saka and understanding that we can do things in multiple ways, I think will be the progression that I want to see from this team. I don't think Saka needs to change his game. I think Saka's fine. I do worry about Saka's injury history and his ability of the amount of games he's played before this season and the demands of an Arteta system. But that's why a good squad comes in. That's why you brought in Madueke. I mean, Madueke and Saka can burn a fullback in a heartbeat. Saka has the end product. Madueke is still developing. But we just haven't seen it to the consistencies that we would feel comfortable to really trust in the Madueke over Saka, if that makes sense. But that could come within time. But it's got to be multiple ways.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Yeah, no, like I said, I think Saka's pretty intelligent as it is. I mean, I think what Arteta actually needs to do is release the handbrake on him. I think he's playing controlled because that's what Arteta wants, but I think Arteta needs to push him a little bit more and ask him to be a little bit more, attack the defense a little bit more, take a little bit more risk and all of that kind of stuff. So that's my thinking there, and I think he's a smart enough player that can do that. I mean, I think many people have said, you know what, you take Saka, you put him on, have him play with Pep Guardiola, and you know what, you have one of the best, if not one of the, one of the top left wings, right wings out there.
I mean, yeah, you're playing with Holland. I mean, of course he'd be.
But I just mean the way that he would improve Saka's game. I don't mean because he's playing with Haaland it's going to make it any different. I think he would. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I believe so. So that's kind of how I feel. I feel.
We'll agree to disagree on that one.
Yeah, I think a different coach would get more out of him. I do believe that. It doesn't have to be just because they have Haaland. So
we're gonna have to agree to disagree. That's another discussion. Let's target that one for summertime. We can talk about that.
Yeah. Chris sent a message with his performance underestimated at your own peril. I think it's always personally. I think it's always been there. It just need to see him get the opportunities. And one thing that happened in this game,
he got space.
He had 40 touches in the game. All right, and the other games that were complaining about it, he got less than 20. All right. Makes a big difference when you're involved in the game. I mean, his work that he's doing, he should be getting more touches and they should be finding him, and they found him like that Timber pass. Do we even make that pass in the beginning of the season, right? Because he's probably still there because he's not always in the box, right?
I think Spurs gave a lot of
Yeah.
space on Sunday. I think that's why that pass was able to be made.
That pass is always there. That strike from right outside the 18 is always there in most of our games.
I'd have to go back and look.
We don't take the shot. We don't take the shot. We're not prepared to take the shot. We take an extra touch. I mean, that's what I believe I see a lot of times is that opportunity is there. We never take it. We don't take it because many a game was like, Erdegaard, take that shot from the 18. He'll take an extra touch.
Okay. I was thought you were talking about passes to Yorker.
No. I mean I'm saying
passes in that area. In that area,
open.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
absolutely
no,
in that area.
Yeah.
100%, it's been there.
Yeah.
The passes to Yorker, I don't know because I think Yorker would take those shots if he got those passes.
Exactly, and that's what
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah.
Red Hot game is in the house. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. Where's Uncle Tony? Yeah, Tony. I don't know where he is. He sent a couple of messages. Didn't say anything else was going on, but I hope he's doing all right. So yeah. Perez has 7 goals. That's what it is. 7 goals. DWTT has 6, and Henry, and Isaiah have 5 against that team. So yeah, so he's a couple goals away from leading Arsenal against that team. We've had many times over the last 3 years as Arsenal Misfit or so years where players have tried to play their way out of trouble instead of just clearing the ball. All part of Arteta's hatred of turning the ball over, and that's the silly part, right? Like you make the thing about it is you make sometimes the first easy pass, and he had 4 options. He didn't take any of them because there was something else going on in his head, right? He had many opportunities to come back to the goalkeeper. Worst case scenario, he didn't have to dribble to the dribble into danger, and that's what he did.
Yeah, he really did turn right into it. Really.
Yeah. BX says that's why I like Hincapia because he just boots it. Yeah, sometimes you just get the ball out of there and reset, and then start complaining to your partners why they not making space. Saka is not an outside player anymore. He has lost pace and explosiveness after being run into the ground by Arteta and getting injured. He has to stay inside now to be effective. You say that, but then you say that. I guess you could say yeah. And this is now we get into that. We get into that third goal, and this is actually probably what he means. Eze, everybody talks about whether he's going to work under the Arteta system. Well, in this particular sequence, Eze is the one that starts the attack by stepping in, deflecting a ball, ends up at the feet of Gyökeres, right? Gyökeres just taps it to him. Next thing you know, Saka is one-on-one with the goalkeeper. I think he should score, but he doesn't. The goalkeeper gets a hand on it. The ball tips off of the defender, and then he takes a touch and puts it home. Right? I mean,
yep.
So, and that's you say you create your own luck. We created our own luck there, right? Because of our defensive work. So, yeah.
Yeah, the Saka speed thing. I don't think that had anything to do with the speed. I think it had to do with this. He just didn't get a good finish on it. But it works out perfect because Eze clears it up. So, I think that I don't know if it's actually the speed. If it's more just the finishing wasn't there from him because I saw so much good stuff from his speed and his pace on Sunday.
Yeah.
So, but so Saka hits the third goal. Oh no, Neze hits the third goal. Looks like Gary's kind of frozen here for a second. Yeah. And then before that, Christian Mosquera came on. I thought Christian Mosquera, when I saw him coming in as a fullback for Timber, I was worried about how that would turn out. But as we can see, Christian Mosquera fit in perfectly in the fullback position. And that allowed Timber to get a break, which I think was critical and key. Let me go back and look through some more of this game since I'm rolling solo for a second. So 61st minute, that was the goal from Eze. And then Tottenham decided to switch things up. They brought on Dominic Solanke in the 62nd minute. And then they took Connor Gallagher out, so they added a striker. Then they brought Rick Carlson on for Colomani in the 68th minute. Didn't really see much. I believe that's about the time for the Raya save, if I'm not mistaken. If someone could correct me when the Raya save happened, where the ball went underneath his legs and he was able to whack it out, I feel like that was close to that time. Arsenal made a couple more subs at that time. The 76th minute, we brought in Martinelli, and then we brought in Odegaard in for Eze. Part of me inside was like, man, I would love to see Eze finish the game out and get the hat trick if that was a possibility. But they looked a little spent at that time. Like Trossard and Eze looked like it was time for them to come off. I was happy that Arteta left Gyökeres on during the game because I think the statistics have shown that when Gyökeres is out there, the team doesn't concede goals. And I think that has to do with his hold-up play, his ability to take on his defenders. He creates a matchup nightmare at times inside the box. But those two subs came on. We had the Raya save, which, again, 3-1 at the time. If that ball goes in, it's 3. Actually, it was the 85th minute, if I'm not mistaken, for the Raya save. Good reflexes by him. He got beat underneath the legs. And that, but it could have set the game on the very edge for 3-2. But fortunately, Arsenal was able to rebound from that. I think they had 6 minutes of extra time, if I'm not mistaken, or 7 minutes was what it was. And that is when Victor Gyökeres, from a Martin Odegaard pass, sealed the 4th goal from a really good striker. A good striker goal. He took on his defender and was able to curl it around the Vicario to 4-1 and send them home with no points. I kind of went through the rest of the game, Gary, while you were out.
That's why you're like carries away. Guess what we'll do? We're just finishing off.
Yeah, it's okay. I hope we didn't lose any viewers during it.
No,
but
it's the weirdest thing. Everything just went black. Like all my windows, like my StreamYard window went black. My other window went black, and I was like, what's going on here? So I just started shutting down anything that looked extra. And then eventually I just did a refresh, and then it was here. So I don't know what happened there. But yeah, I'm back. Yeah. That assist from Erdogan, right, to Gyökeres was very nice. And the Gyökeres kept, that guy was just on his hip, and that was all she need. That's all she wrote. Basically, he was never going to get to the ball.
How physical, and Gyökeres again, like he's the perfect striker, I think, for the system.
Yeah,
because his physicality and he's got a borderline of unselfishness, which I think some strikers typically don't have. That most strikers have, where he's willing to, like you said, tap the ball off to Saka. Right. He's thinking about the team game. And again, that's the difference between him and a Jesus. How many times have we seen Gabriel Jesus move the ball up and you're like, dude, you pass it. There's a play, and he doesn't do it. I mean, there is that position itself is selfish, but I think Gyökeres, he's a team player, and I think he wants to win. Obviously, he wants to bang the goals in, but I think he's more – I think that Gyökeres, if he could get 10, 15 assists, I think he'd be happy with that.
Oh, no. Yeah. Well, you know what? If I'm not going to score, then at least I'm going to leave with something kind of thing. But and that is it. If you don't pass it to him, he doesn't get even a chance to either take the shot or make the pass. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. They need to trust him more, or at least figure out a way to get more trust out of him. I'm going to do the chat. Go ahead.
Well, I forgot about the disallowed goal from Spurs too.
Yeah.
When Gabriel kind of dived.
And
oh well.
You know what? I know people are going to say he's got to be stronger there, but I think if he doesn't put his hands on him, I think he's able to at least make that pass. That shot doesn't come off the way it does. I think if he doesn't touch him, regardless of how slight it was, if he doesn't touch him, there's no way I think that ball makes it there, and the attacker actually gets the same sort of opportunity to shoot like he does, right? Because if he doesn't touch him, Gabriel goes straight up and comes right back down, turns, and probably puts in a nice block, right? if he doesn't get to the ball. Otherwise, the fact that he jolts forward, it means that it did affect him. And the same way that people said that when Bernardo Silva ran into Dunk, and they're like, he's supposed to be strong enough to hold up in that situation. The man's in the air. Doesn't matter how
Yeah.
how big you are when you're in the air, and somebody just runs into you, doesn't even play the ball. I mean, it doesn't matter whether or not you're 10, 50 pounds heavier than them.
Physics, yeah.
It's a foul, and it's a dangerous foul.
I still think you went down soft, but you are right. You are absolutely right on that.
Yeah.
But again, that's okay. Like I'm not as upset about it because it helped us out.
Yeah.
I think we've had some calls go against us this year. I can think of the Forest handball, which how that wasn't a handball, I don't know. Whatever. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, and those are the margins we shouldn't have to play with, though.
No,
that's the problem with that. Like, those are margins, but those are margins we shouldn't even have to. We shouldn't not this team should not be looking at margins like that to win, to get out of many of the games and many of the drop points that we had. We're too good. We are too good for that. Yeah, BX kind of says this is why I say Erdegaard and Saka are the main culprits all year. They've had all the keys to unlock Eucharist since August. I just don't think they trusted him, and I don't understand why.
Well, we saw that with Kai Havertz when he first got into the team. The players didn't trust him.
Yeah, and I don't. But that's the thing. It's like you got the longer it takes you to trust him, the longer it takes for you to get the success that you want. So figure out how to do that, and that's either doing the work off the pitch or trying the stuff on the pitch, whatever it takes. But you can't we can't be like, oh, I don't trust you because whatever situation. Nah, the coach, Berta has figured out a player they want to bring in. They come with some talents. You need to be able to tap those talents.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, a player who scored almost 100 goals in 2 seasons, I think, has some talents. A player who took his Crystal Palace team and was able to create the assists and the shots and the goals that they needed has something about him. We need to figure that out quicker.
Yeah, I agree with that, but also at the same time, it's that meshing period, right? And the trusting each other. And here's the good news, right? If we could take anything away from Sunday, it looks as if potentially things have been slightly figured out.
Yeah, it sounds like Arteta said that too, right? Arteta said that too. Like, all of a sudden, he's got this epiphany now of how to use. I think it's Gyökeres and Eze, or one of the two, and it's like, what?
I mean, I think again, Gyökeres, Havertz, Gyökeres, Eze. I think the Gyökeres Odegaard thing. Again, I feel like Eze and Havertz play more as 10s, whereas Odegaard plays as an 8.
Yeah. No, he's definitely not.
But he can still do the 10 work. We forget how good Martin Odegaard was.
Yeah. I don't want Erdegaard sitting behind my double pivot. It makes no sense. It's like an inverted setup. He needs to play further up the pitch. And if he can't press, then that's why he's playing further back. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. We lose our control pushing the ball up the pitch when he plays so far back, because he's supposed to be the one, and you can't ask Rice and Zubimendi to do that. That makes no sense, right? And you're playing one man down and you're attacking front, right? I mean, that's why Eze looks much better up there, and and Havertz looks better up there because they're trying to push we don't need an extra defender on this team. We got 7, all right? Essentially, right? We've got 7. We don't need another one. We don't need 8, all right?
Yeah, I think, again, if anybody at this point, I mean, when I look at this team and so I guess, are we closing the Spurs game in theory at this point and moving on? I don't know if we over that or
over what?
Oh, are we moving out the Spurs game? Because I don't know if you want to transition.
Let me finish these.
Go ahead, sorry.
Let me finish these. Yeah, they have the keys to the attack. They do. They do have the keys. So, I don't know if Erdegaard gets to come back. I don't know if he should. There's no reason to rush him back. Let Eze cook, as they say. Let the paint. We'll see. Got Anthony Herbert in the house. Thanks for joining us. Hello, Gary. Bye, Gary. Yes, sir. Thanks for joining us. And Anthony Herbert has got a couple of beers for from Jose here. There you go. And Arsenal Misfit agrees with me. Yeah, you're right. That through ball up the middle has always been there every game, but our tether ball is all about going outside. Yeah, I mean it's going outside, but also I think the players are thinking about the next pass.
But the players also have to be there to
Yeah.
receive that pass.
Sometimes they're there, but they're not looking to take that shot. I mean, we've
Right.
seen.
Well, they're not looking to take that pass either, or receive the ball in that space.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've seen Zubimindi take shots from out there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When the ball, like, and not that it was set up that way, but the ball gets there. We got space around that 18 all the time because they're worried about what's going on in the inside, So
well, it depends on the game too. I think some games we're getting that space on the outside, like the Sunderland game. They gave us the respect to get those shots out there, and I think Rice had the first shot, and by the time Zubimindi hit the shot in the 36th minute, that they gave us the space. And we've had some games like the Wolves game where I don't feel like we got that space. So it's all incumbent on who we're playing as well too, and what they're giving us. So again, like you say, we say this in the NFL: take what the defense gives you and work what you can work with. And I think this team has the ability to skin a cat in multiple ways.
We do. We'll take whatever you give us. We will do open play. We will do set piece. We will do own goal. Whatever you want. However you want to lose, we'll let you lose that way. Yeah,
that's like Burger King. However you want to get it.
Yes, exactly. I've seen a lot more direct lately, and most of our goals have come through the middle. Yeah, I mean our open play. I think our open play goals is up there with the tops of the league. So, whatever. We take, as you say, we'll get them how they come. The dunk hit should have been a straight. I don't know about a straight red. It should have been an easy yellow for sure. Easy yellow. He was on a yellow, and that's the reason why nothing was given. Which I kind of feel like, that's kind of like why Gordon has a broken nose and Van Dijk didn't get a call. Right? What was up with that? So the referees sometimes have just messed this thing up. But you've kind of gone through the game in general. Like I guess for me to finish up, anyways.
Yeah.
That gap between when we scored, they scored, and then we scored again, too big in a game like this. We should be able to have finished them off by halftime, meaning we should have been up at least 2-1, maybe 3-1, the way we can play. So, but we didn't.
Chances in that first half, sorry, Gary, that we didn't finish our dinner. Saliba had a good one. Gorkarez had a good one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, so we're getting the opportunities, which means a goal's coming, right? Good opportunity, so the goal's coming. Got Lolo in the house. Thanks for joining us, Lolo. For those who know, Lolo is he's still out there. He still does a show every once in a while on a Friday for about an hour. So check it out. The last goal showed what has been missing all year. Saka, Erdegaard, and Gyökeres combination have had it all season. Yeah. That did show really nicely there, and hopefully we'll continue. And you know what? Hopefully that just means Erdegaard can come off the bench as they hopefully will. If Eze plays better as a starter, then that's what you do. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We shall see. We were doing what we did 2 seasons ago when we went 16-101. We were playing up the middle more and not just lobbing across after crossing. The through balls are bypassing the defenders. Yes, says Steven. Yeah. What I mean, I think, yeah, more direct for sure. When we play slow, guess what? We play slow, we look slow, and then teams punish us. Does Rice need to stop being a Xhaka replacement and start being our lone CDM number 6?
I mean,
again, if Arteta trusted that situation, he would, but he loves him some Zubamendi, so,
But again, if they're running a double pivot, he's already sitting as a 6.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like Zubamendi's out of there, and maybe you're playing with a Erdegaard who might play a little further behind an Eze.
You could do that.
Right?
I think it'll be situational based.
Yeah.
We
haven't been healthy enough to try any of this stuff, I think, on a regular basis. So that's been 100%. The problem.
That is 100% accurate. The health has not been there to do some of these cute things. And I do wonder, Champions League starting up soon, what will be given to us based on who we get as an opponent, what we can do. Do you go on the road? Let's say you get a Leverkusen first round and you go to their spot and you beat them 4-1. Could you not run maybe something like that, tempt it in the second leg, see how it works? I mean, I'm not saying you're gonna beat Leverkusen, but again, like, I don't know how much tinkering at the running we want to really do at this point too. But again, if it's situational based and it's like, hey, we need a goal, Zubimindi, you got to come off, and I'm gonna run Eze and Odegaard. We got to go get a goal. Okay, Like that's where I think you could do that situational, because you're gonna invert anyway, and you could have like a Miles Lewis Skelly kind of sitting there as a 6 or whoever. There's opportunities there. I just don't know how much tinkering you're not going to start a game like that. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Arteta is like that, anyways. Not like in a.
He's risk averse.
Not in a
whether people like it or not, he's risk averse, and that's
knockout round. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely something to try against. Maybe some of the teams lower in the table, so that you could get a different. You can see if it works out.
100%.
Because those teams will be set up a certain way, and you'll have to play a different way to maybe break whatever they're trying to do. So maybe it is a chance to do something different. So we'll see about that. Got before we get into our next game, we're gonna say hi to the only Philip Luther Howell, Dad. Me, anyways. Thanks for joining us, sir. He said, "Good night, sirs. How are you doing?" Seeing how it's probably 1:00 in the morning, he probably had to make a stop at he's an old guy. So he came in and said hello. Thanks for joining us, sir. Yeah, I'd love to see Rice as in a Habit trio. That could work. That definitely would be nice to see. It'd be nice to see. As you said, you could see that in a Champions League game. Just to switch things up, right? Why can't we be the dominant team attack wise, right?
I think you could get away with that.
Yeah. Havertz and Eze, you don't have to worry about. Havertz is gonna be able to hold the ball up and give it to Eze or Gyökeres, and you're like laughing, right? So,
especially if you ran something like a Trossard at the top of the Gyökeres and a Saka, you could get away with that because those three are going to be defensively sound. You could even run a Martinelli, and he'll be defensively sound enough for you to be a little bit more adventurous in the middle of the park.
True. So. True. Yeah. BX says hi to Mr. Howell. Good evening, Mr. Howell. What else we got here? One last thing. I'm not sure Rice has the forward passing range. No, he to replace Zubimendi, he tends to pass sideways or backwards. But I think Rice could make the pass to whoever's playing in front of him. That's what him making the pass. It's going to break lines. I don't think so. But if if Erdogan or Havertz is sitting there, because the thing about it is when Eze's there, Eze loves to sit right up there behind Gyökeres. You know what I mean? Nobody gets the ball there, right?
Saliba is the one that can make some of those passes for us. There was a play I was watching it on someone discussing it, and we haven't had those open spaces, to break lines. We've been able to pass through two lines of if you think of formation, you got the 3, the 2. We haven't had those opportunities this year really to do that a lot.
Yeah.
And that was a pass of Saliba hit to Rice, and Saliba's key in that too as well.
Yeah. If Saliba's making those line breaking passes, cool. But I think a lot of times it seems like he wants to dribble. It's like one of those things you'd like dribble to the open space. No, you should have somebody running to the open space so you can pass it to them. You know what I mean?
Well, if you think about it from this perspective, and I'm going to defend Saliba on this, if I'm running to the open space, what I'm doing is I'm pushing them further back, right?
Yeah.
He
gets into danger. That's the reason why it doesn't work. A lot of times is because he takes off, he dribbles up there, and then he doesn't know what to do when there's only defenders in front of him.
Well, that's how they recycle it too.
Yeah. And sometimes we lose the ball. Now he's got to track back really quickly.
Yeah.
Is White injured again? He wasn't even on the bench for this game. I think I don't think he's. Yeah, I think they have to manage his time. I don't know if he's injured like that, but I just don't think he's going to be able to be available to us all the time.
Well, the Christian Nascara right back thing again. As good as it was, I am going to play the devil's advocate as that it was Spurs. I mean, we see him on the left side, right? We've seen him play left back.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is he right-footed or is he left-footed?
I don't know.
I don't know. Again, I know. Obviously, if he played right back, the guy's versatile enough, right? We the run-in's going to come in here soon. We have a week off until Chelsea, which is nice, which is excellent, great timing. And I'm looking at it, because I did an Excel spreadsheet, and I think I sent it to you, Gary, with all the games left, and Crystal Palace, they haven't how unfortunate we were to get our game in hand when we did. If it can, and again, we could sit there and I don't know, April will be like, man, it's nice to have a week off, and they have to play. So again, it's easy to say that, but given the injuries, the Havertz and all that stuff, was kind of unfortunate. But I guess the point I was going to make is I forgot.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the point. The white injured again thing. Okay, yeah. Again, like this is a guy who we need him. What role is he really going to play? But at this point right now, Mascara's now kind of put that position on like, hey, I can do this too, coach.
Yeah, we got options is the thing.
Yeah.
So like if he's if he's truly injured or they were managing his time, maybe they're managing his minutes and whatnot, and so he'll play. Just won't be on the. He won't. They don't even want to risk him being on the bench and having to play him. So
I mean, Ben White's so good when he's out there. I think Timber's a better defender.
Yep.
But Ben White offers a lot going forward. And again, Timber with a great pass on Sunday makes you remind like, hey, this guy can be elite when we have seen good stuff from him too. But we've also seen some poor stuff. But I don't think that's down to talent or ability. I think it's down to being tired.
Yeah.
And I think we can say Arteta managing minutes, but Ben White, I need you available too to give Timber a break.
Yeah.
So if Christian Mascara is going to be the guy that can do that for us, then so be it.
Yeah. The Salimba thing is because White is not playing. Timber's a great defender, but he cannot do for Saliba what White does. Saliba knows that if he gets the ball to White, White will move it forward. True. Yeah. True. That's what that's kind of what you said. You said to some degree there, but yeah, I for me, if that's the case, then I wish we would do that in other situations as well. If someone is not as good in a certain case, then you support them in a different way. I don't think we do that. Sometimes we expect them to play the same way. We expect Eze to play like Erdogan, which I think is silly. You take it, you basically handcuffing him, and playing with a hand behind his back. You let Eze play a little bit more like he plays. You're gonna get the games that we've seen him play, right? Hopefully, it's another start because we've had 7 days, which is kind of a scary thought. Like, and we'll talk about Chelsea now. Does Eze get a start against Chelsea at home after 7 days of rest? And Erdogan came on late in the game, but he's
Do I have a fully fit squad to make this decision?
No, it's only Eze and Erdogan.
No. Is Havertz available? Havertz isn't starting that game.
Okay. I'm only talking about those two players. If you bring a Havertz in there, that's a totally different discussion. But right now, does Eze keep his spot over an Erdogan who did play? I don't think even if Havertz is healthy, he comes in and to dethrone somebody just yet. I think he would come off the bench. Is what I think. I don't think there's any reason for us to have to rush Havertz and put him in there when he hasn't played in a previous game.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a devil's advocate because my answer is gonna be Eze, but my answer is Eze incumbent on this. Let's say he has a stinker 45. Do you stick with him? Because I want him to go 65 minutes, and then throw Odegaard on there.
Yeah, I don't. I don't.
I feel like we as a fan base abandoned so quickly on Eze.
Yeah.
Do you know that? Like
because we play we just change up. Like there's nothing we need to change up. Like how he's going to play, so we should play to that. All right, we know how Gyökeres is going to play.
Fofana, so that's something to keep in mind too. So they're going to be down a defender.
Yeah. So we should just we played them a couple. The first game we went up 3-1, right? 3-0, right? Actually, right?
Who was on the field for the first game? Was that Odegaard?
You know what? I mean, I can check it out. Let's see, because I'm looking at
I'm going Eze because I'm also thinking about Brighton away as a follow-on to start Odegaard.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking.
Let's look at this Chelsea game. So the last time we played Chelsea, okay, so when we played him at home, we played him as started in the midfield with Rice and Zubimendi. We won 1-0 there. A little tight game there. And then the previous week, let's go backwards here. So where's the Chelsea match? Come on. All right, here we go. The 3-2-1. Erdegaard played in a 3-2. Yeah, when he came off, when did he come off? He came off in the 68th minute for Mikel Moreno. So, and by then, I think was it 68 minutes. 68
Yeah.
minutes. We were up. We were
Yeah.
up 2-1 at that point. So
that was a Moreno for Odegaard change. That Moreno is no longer here.
Yep.
Part of me. Okay, so Odegaard played what? He came on the 68th minute on. No, wrong. 76th minute he came on. So he did 15 minutes. I don't think he starts.
Yeah.
I think Eze gets to start again. I don't think you're wrong starting either one. I know Eze just scored the 2 goals.
See that kind of it's wrong to start Erdegaard.
I don't think it is.
You need to build on Eze.
Okay, if you're going to build on Eze, then we also have to do the premise of, hey, Eze, you didn't have a good game. I'm still okay with that. Because I mean, I am.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Here's my thing. When I say I pull him at halftime,
mm-hmm.
If I still think he's my starter, then he's still my starter. He has to know that. I'm the manager. I know what I'm. I know what I'm doing. It's not your day. Sometimes it's not your day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sometimes I may have screwed this thing up, and it's not your day. So I'm going to have to fix it. I'm going to fix it the way I feel. I need to fix it to get the best out of the squad, not because you're punished. And that's kind of my thinking. Like that's kind of the manager I would like to be. Is that I set up the team a certain way. I screwed it up. I'm going to fix it, but it might mean I have to sacrifice one of the pieces I really enjoy. I wanted to have out there because I messed it up, right? Like you set up the team in such a way that the easiest fix is to take Eze out and put Havertz or Erdegaard in, right? Because of either the way the game's playing out, or because you realize you're just not going to get it. It's not going to happen today, right? But the player also has to know that. I don't know if Arteta speaks that way to his players. Like, I'm pulling you, but you're still my start. You haven't lost your spot because of this 45-minute period, right?
You know what I think? Novel comment. I don't know if these guys care about it that much. And what I mean by that is I think they're bought into the team aspect of this. If you look at the bench cam, I watched the video earlier tonight. Eze gave a massive hug to Arteta. Like, there's a lot of mutual respect there. I think there's love and admiration.
Yeah. What about that Eze that was looking at what was going on in the pitch in the Anfield game? That's not an Eze that's going to give Arteta a hug.
Probably not. But again, that was
no. But I'm saying things have changed. Yes.
Again, progression happened. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And Eze's got 6 goals in the league for us right now. I think he's got 1 in Champions League. I think you could start him, and because I think if you need to throw Odegaard on there, if it's not working out, so be it. But again, I think if Havertz is available, I still think the starter is either Eze or Odegaard.
Yeah, Havertz. We shouldn't have to be rushing players back. They should be able to come in because we have 3 starters.
Yeah.
In that attacking or creative midfield position, or how we decide to use it, right? We have starters, so no matter who we put in there, like you said, it doesn't matter. But I'd like to at least allow Eze to get this is what happened the last time, right? He had the hat trick, and then we never saw him again for 5 games, and I don't think that's good either. I think
I don't either.
I don't think that was good. I don't think he's that bad, and whatever he did in the Villa game, I don't think was that bad that he should not get to play anymore. For that reason, right? Because we've seen worse players who are defenders do worse things than that and still continue to play on. So I don't think that should be a case for an attacking player whose main thing is I'm trying to create and score goals, right? So,
well, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, we'll find out Sunday. Again, it's either Eze or Odegaard. I think you got to have a conversation with Havertz. And I say this because former team, he likes to punish them. If you're not ready to go on Sunday, you're not ready to go.
True.
But if you put him on the bench, you don't have to play him. I mean, but this again, the running is, and I did the spreadsheet with the running, and right now, if we win all our games but the City game, we still win the league. If we draw the City game, we'll win by 2 points. But I don't. But again, my point being is we need to go and get all the points on the board we can get. Because if you
Yeah.
go back and look at the City Newcastle game on Saturday, I don't think City were comfortable in that finishing in that game.
No.
They don't look the same.
And you know what? That's we'll see it. We'll see it this weekend when Leeds play. Right? Well,
Yeah.
they play the day
Yep.
before us, the last game of the day.
Yeah.
So, and if Leeds play the way they've always played, except for they can't play against us for whatever reason, but the way they've been playing against everybody else, the game, City won't run away from them, and Leeds may even steal it. And Leeds had an opportunity to steal it last,
Yeah.
right? And they gave up goals to start the first. I think either start the second half or and start the extra time. Basically, they didn't like if they like kind of exhaled at the wrong moments, right? The clock goes up, says whatever 9 minutes, and then they give up a goal, right?
So looking at Man City, 20. This is from that Premier League table of points lost, winning position. Man City have dropped the lead 22 times in this season, and they've only dropped 11 points. And it looks like, well, I don't know. I'm not reading this wrong. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. But either way, points lost. It looks like they've dropped 11 points this season. We've dropped 9. The team that's dropped the most points from winning position, West Ham, 20, and then Chelsea 19 with 2, at second.
So they're not going to run away from us, and they're going to allow us to come back no matter what happens this weekend.
Talking about City?
At Chelsea. So this game should be one that we can manage and get a win.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that first Chelsea game that we allowed them to play their game, and their game was shithousing and falling down, cheap fouls. The game.
That's how the Wolves game goes, and every game you can look at. A lot of times we play down to our opponents. We get sucked into the way they play, and we can't play that way. We should be the dominant team in every game we've played, and when we don't, we get run over, and things happen the wrong way. We don't necessarily get run over, but we kind of let teams back in, and they seem to take advantage of that every time. So
as they started the Wolves game, right?
I believe so. Let's see. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Again, is that a game where Arteta pulled from Eze too quickly? Maybe.
I just don't. There's got to be there should be something that you did wrong. Like Eze didn't all of a sudden just come out in the Wolves game and then it didn't work. So what could you not have changed some things around? And I just think we needed to get a goal at some point. I'd rather have Eze on the pitch and then not. Maybe somebody else can come off. But let me go to the chat real quick before we continue on with the Chelsea. Loved when White kicked the ball at McGinn, when McGinn kicked the ball at Saliba when Saliba was on the ground. Yeah, I love that. And you know what? That's the thing. White is back, but he's not back, right? There's none of that. That play that he has with on the free kicks and stuff, because he's probably not back yet. So we'll see if he does. Eze and Hincapié are new Nacho and Alexis. We must continue with them starting. It'd be nice to see. Yeah. If he's playing like Alexis, everybody would enjoy that. The thing is, I don't think Arteta likes the Alexis type play because it's really risky. It requires us giving a ball up, but it also results in probably more opportunities to score. So it's a happy medium to have. I'd rather have a player that's going to give me 3 goals and maybe create 2 opportunities for the other team than hold it back and not give us anything, and then not be the best defender the way we want, and give up an opportunity there. I'd rather you gotta take the good with the bad sometimes. I feel, a player that's really good on the attack might give up an opportunity through the middle, but more than likely he'll make it up for you in the attack if you allow him, if they have that confidence and freedom. So that's kind of how I feel that works. Arsenal's Chelsea game are like City and Newcastle games play each other a few times. Yeah. Tig, I'm very excited for Sunday's match, and when our ladies play them in FA Cup, we will fold them into. Yeah. The women have been playing really well of late. Been really good to see. Barely any changes, but from they've still had similar injuries, but been playing really good, and they're leaning on their attack. The attack's been really good. Enjoyed that. Heard Coco Puff is out for this game. That will make Saka happy, not having to be worried about being taken out all the time. Yeah, very true. Very true. Sounds like Reece James might be back according to SofaScore. So and Gusto. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Coco Puff is not there, but
Yeah.
he injured. What does it say here? It says, yeah, he's out with an injury. So yeah, yeah. So Reece James is there, so Reece James might give them a little bit something. Palmer is there, so he might help out Palmer a little bit. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, I mean this is an interesting stretch coming up. You've got Chelsea at home, Brighton away, and then the FA Cup on the weekend.
Mm.
I can't remember what the game is after that because that'll be March 8th, I believe, for the FA Cup. Is it? My anniversary is on the 7th, so
yeah. No, no, as you said, I got it here. So yeah, we play Chelsea, Brighton, Mansfield Town, and we play Everton, and then we play the EFL Cup final.
Everton's at home.
Yeah, so got
and there's a break in between the Everton game and the final, right?
It's 7 days. So we play the Sunday home against Everton, and then we make our trek to Wembley, right?
I think our first Champions League game will pop in between that time.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Right? That's true. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we might play. That was the thought that we could play City around that time if it
I think City was going to be in the quarterfinals. I think in the round of 16.
Is that what it was? Okay.
And I don't understand how this goes, Gary. The red blue path thing. I've got no clue.
Yeah. The thing is, you got to wait for all the games to play out because I guess there is one team, like whoever the lowest seed is between the 15th and 16th seed, I think is how it plays out.
Mm-hmm.
That Arsenal will play. I think what sucks is you would like them to play the worst team that qualified, but they didn't want to create too much of a hassle there, so they said, you know what, you're going to play the worst of the second 8. That's who you're going to play, which the whole Bodo Glimt thing kind of breaks that all up, and now Bodo Glimt I think might play City, which kind of like that's an easier route into the quarterfinals
for them.
Yeah, for any team.
Well, they lost to Bodo Glimt this year, so again,
yeah. Well, I mean, PSG lost to us, right? And we knew that wasn't.
Yeah. But Bodo Glimt just eliminated Inter Milan. That's a big giant taken down. That's.
Yep. Yep. So, like you said, as far as the team we're playing when we play Chelsea, I mean, for me, the defense, we need to punish their back line. I feel like that's where we need to, get
on the front foot. I think is the best way to say it. We need to have a go with them. We're at home. Dictate the possession, dictate the pace of the game. Don't allow them to get into ticky-tacky fouls or shithousery. Score early if you can.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we love smashing Chelsea at home, so.
Yeah, we need to finish them off.
Yeah.
Start finishing teams off now. So yeah. Yep. Yeah, what do we got here? I have this go. Oh, Tiger Guna says Sam Kerr is over here in Perth, Western Australia now. She's here for the Asia Cup. Yeah. I have no idea what's after Chelsea. Oh, yeah, we talked about that. Bodo Glimt is a dangerous side. Yeah, they look like it. Yeah. I mean, they're playing with some confidence, right? So, we'll find out in the next round who they play. That was a pretty dominant play against Inter Milan. So, yeah. So, what you got a score line you're thinking about for the Chelsea game?
Man, they just drew it home to Burnley. I don't know what to think of them. I really don't. They're going to be up for it. 3-0.
3-0. Yeah. I'm gonna go. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go 2-0 because I want a clean sheet and I want a 2-goal win. Or in general, I just want a 2-goal win. But if I can, I can get a clean sheet, I think that would be really nice. I don't want to keep it close. So Arteta needs to basically like punish them, really and truly. Like Chelsea, I think scored early in the Burnley game. Did nothing with that. weren't able to run away from Burnley, and Burnley was able to get a goal back, and they lost a player, and that kind of kept it where it is. Like we should be able to. I think we're better than Burnley. No matter what they do, we're better than Burnley. So I think what they scored in the 4th minute, and they didn't score for the rest of the game, and Burnley scored in the 93rd minute.
Yeah.
Right. That can't happen again. We can't. Nah.
Well,
we should.
There's a lot of confidence, I think, for how we performed in the North London Derby. So I think build on it, right? Let's say you've had your wobble. This team's built to do one thing. They're not going to lose games. Worst case scenario, they're going to draw. Which, again, at this point, we can't afford any more draws. But with that being said, we're getting into March. 10 games left for us. 6 at home, 4 on the road. City have to go on the road 6 more times. I mean, this is, I've had fever pitch. I was watching it on Sunday night before bed. I just turned it on and watched it a couple times, the 88-89 season. And I was talking to someone about it, and there's probably some old heads in the chat that were around for that time that could talk about how Arsenal had a wobble before that Anfield game. In that game, can our hearts handle an Anfield type situation, 88-89? Which, again, I heard something today. The last time Arsenal did the double over Spurs was, I believe, the 87-88 season and the 88-89 season.
Yeah, no, my heart can't take that.
I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
But if you told me
we are too old for this game.
If we had won the EFL Cup at that point, and we have an opportunity to play in a Champions League final at that point, and maybe have won, have won the FA Cup, right? Because FA Cup, FA Cup. I think it's before the end of the season, if I remember. So you tell me we've got 2 domestic cups and a Champions League final to play, along with maybe winning on the last day, then maybe that'll my heart a little bit. But if we have nothing to show for ourselves at that point, and still get away from the true double, right? That my heart not feel good about that. Not feel good about that at all.
Yeah, and again, what I've seen from City, I just don't see how they win 11 straight.
And you know what? I don't even think we have to worry about. I don't think that's our concern for me right now.
I don't think we can win 10 straight.
We got one game at a time.
Yeah,
and we can win the next 10. We won 16 out of 18. In a season with a worse squad. I think we're a better squad now.
Yeah.
So to win now, you tell me, you just have to win 10, right? Or in this case, 11 in a row.
Yeah.
We're a team that can do that with the squad we have, right? As long as we, I think if we rotate and all of that in the right games and stuff like that, we'll be fine. Different lineups, different setups because of the players. And all, we should, but it's one game at a time. I've been trying to do one game at a time. The next hurdle, Chelsea. We go out there and we play to win that one, and we go from there. Because Chelsea, and then what is it? I think Chelsea and then City are our toughest games from here out, right? So we
got to go to West Ham away. I think
but I'm saying the toughest games that we have in our schedule left right now are City and then Chelsea, and then everybody else. A lot of them are sitting on in the bottom half of the table, right? Brighton, Everton, Bournemouth. I guess Newcastle's in the top 5.
Palace away will be tricky, I think.
Yeah. But that's at the end of the season, and hopefully by then we don't.
Well, this is the thing too. At the beginning of the season too, if you look at City's run, they've got Villa the last day of the season. I mean, Villa dropped points on Sunday or Saturday, I believe it was, and then on top of that, Chelsea dropped points. So we don't know where that top 4 race will be at that time.
Yeah.
My gut feeling is Man United's going to push through to 3rd place.
Yeah. And Villa might be wanting to chase for the top 4 spot as well.
And Liverpool might get back into it too for the top 4 too. So there's a lot unknown with those. So that game could be tricky for City at the end of the year. They have Brentford and Bournemouth could be pushing for Brentford could be pushing for a European spot. So there's a lot unknown. Like we've got West Ham 3 games at the end of the season. West Ham could be safe or desperate as could be to stay up. So and Burnley, it's the second to last game. Burnley could be on the beach, knowing that we're going down. So again, we just don't know these things. Again, like you said, one game at a time. We as fans, I mean, we can forecast through it. I like to look at it, and I've been doing this Excel spreadsheet trying to figure out the what ifs and driving myself insane. But we're still in all 4 competitions. We got the response we wanted on Sunday. I think so. We'll find out what happens. I'm assuming we'll figure out our opponent for the Champions League after tomorrow, I believe.
Yep. It's either, I think the way at least it played out, if I remember, because they have on the what you call it? Let me go look at this thing on the knockout rounds. It kind of shows who you potentially could play,
Like
and basically, and like either we're playing the winner of Dortmund and Atalanta, or we'll play the winner of Olympiacos and Leverkusen, right? So, and I think Leverkusen and Dortmund are right now in the lead in those sides. So, Dortmund or Leverkusen. Leverkusen is a weaker side than they were a couple of seasons ago, right? So it's not, they are good, but they are not as strong as I think they've been in the past. And Dortmund is a good team, but I just think if we've played Bayern Munich, so in Dortmund, I don't even know where Dortmund sits in the sense of let's see, I'll bring this up in a new window here. How are they doing in the league and stuff? So they're up 2-0 going into that game, sitting 8 points off of the top of the table in the Bundesliga. So yeah, I mean the big difference you'll see, Dortmund scored 49 goals and Bayern is 85, so the levels are different, right? We're sitting at 50-something goals in a Premier League, so we're playing in a tougher league and we've given up less goals. So they've given up 22. I think we've given up 20. So yeah. No, we should be able to manage either one of those teams, whatever comes through. It will be. It won't be what we've done in the past, where we're playing a team that's been there, done that of late, right? In terms of the Champions League, Dortmund has been a tough team, but they're not like a Bayern Munich, right? Who's still, Leverkusen wants the same thing, similar thing there. We're going to get out of here in a little bit, but Steven says Bodo Glimt scares me right now in the Champions League. They're not pissing around. Yeah, they're looking really good. But you know what? I believe Arsenal is to play with anybody. So there you go. Dragon Guinness says that he's got a 3-0 win for Arsenal. Yeah, I'd take a 3-0 well. I mean, I'd take it. Put them out again 5-0 at home. And then people go, what happened? Like, well, this is what kind of team we are. We have that in us. We can score 5 in Chelsea, right? So
yeah.
So it is different things. I take a 2-0, but I would love more than that.
3 points on the board is all I care about at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, like we can sit here and I went 3-0, dude. If you get me a 2-0, 1-0 win, I'll take it. I mean, 1-0 means it can be a little nervy, obviously, but just win, baby. Just win.
True.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you want to say?
No, thanks everybody to come by. Like I said, it's been an interesting day for myself. And I was glad I was able to do this. I'm glad we had this avenue tonight. Kind of helped me out a little bit. So yeah, man, I appreciate you doing it on Tuesday. And yeah, man.
Yeah, it worked out. I mean, like I said, it's not only like it made it easy for me sometimes. I mean, so
yeah, I definitely emotionally needed it for real. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I can't see some of the messages coming through your StreamYard here, but I do see Arsenal Misfit is asking, was that team going down this season? I would love to see it.
I don't know. I mean, Forest with Victor Pereira looked pretty good against Liverpool.
They are 5 points from.
I don't want them to go down, and the only reason I say that is I enjoy us having that game twice a year.
Yeah,
I don't know how much I get the banter of it and the fun. I get it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be weird not playing that game twice a year.
I'll be okay as long as we win the league. But yes, I would like to
Yeah.
see that as well. Just because
I'm indifferent on it, if I'm
those
honest.
those years when we weren't so good and they had Harry Kane and they were getting what the wins they were getting, they just I would love to see it. So
I
there you
mean,
go.
I'll be fair with you. Like, I would never, in 100 years, sit there if Arsenal were playing City and be like, "Yeah, I want us to lose the City so Spurs can lose the league."
Yeah.
They have such a loser mentality in general that I can't imagine it. Like, I've rooted for Tottenham against City.
I,
I wanted them to get. I wanted because I know you're not going to agree. That's fine. No one's going to agree with me on this, but I'm competing with City.
yeah.
If
I'm not. I
I
want everybody to lose. So whatever is best for my
it worked out. They both
like
drew.
yeah. Like I want everybody to lose. If they drop points and it helps us, perfect. But I want everybody to lose. I don't want anybody to. I can't cheer for anybody to win anything.
So your idea of Premier League weekend would be Arsenal.
Everybody loses.
Everybody get a one. That would be a good weekend.
That'd be the worst case scenario. That would be a better situation. Everybody losing. Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody draws. Arsenal gets a win.
I'll take that. It's like, no complaints.
But personally, I want everybody to lose. I don't. If it's a situation where no, I want you to lose. I want City to lose every game they play, right? So
I just don't think we compete with them, so I have no issue for wanting them to beat my current rivals.
Yeah,
we're not going to agree on it. That's okay.
Yeah. No, I can't ever like I want City to lose more than I want that team to beat City.
Complicated, man. I don't tell you.
I'm very easy. I want City to lose.
Yeah.
I don't care who they're playing. If they happen to be playing that team, I don't care. I want them to lose.
I mean, even if we weren't competing with them, I want them to lose just in general out of principle.
True. Yeah.
I want Liverpool to lose every game. I want United to lose every game.
Yeah. So I want them to go down. Spencer would like to play them another 2 seasons.
So let me answer that properly. I'm indifferent if they go down. I'm not rooting for it. I'm not rooting against it. If they go down, they go down. But I think their fan base deserves it because I think their fan base are full of nothing but losers because of their loser mentality. They did an interview, a street interview, and they were like, I think they asked 8 people, and they probably had a bigger sample size, but I think it was 3 of the 8 were okay with them going down for us not to win the title. That's just insane.
Yeah, I don't want I don't want anybody else to win a trophy.
Yeah,
but I'm not taking an L for that.
Again, like Arsenal won 13 leagues, so I think that's right. I might be wrong.
Yep. You're 13.
So 13
right.
league titles. So for Spurs fans to be like, "Wow, I'd rather go down for Arsenal win a league." They've already done it 13 other times, so there's nothing weird. You're not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I remember how dirty it felt when they won the Europa League final. I felt really disgusting and dirty, and I mean, whatever, man. They're loser club, loser mentality. They've got a lot of issues, and I'm glad we're run by who we're run. I mean, there's some imperfections at times. I'm sure half the fan base doesn't like Arteta, half of them do, but golly, at least we're not them.
Yeah.
That's really it, man.
Yeah. Just okay, before I forget, just a heads up, I am traveling next week, but I'll let you know about the show. So I'll let you know, and I'll let everybody else know as well. If nothing changes, but there might be a change, so we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. So, what night are you going to live stream? I don't know what you mean here. I'm going to do my show usual Tuesday and Saturday, so that won't change. So, I'm shameless. I'll root for that team that meant we win. I'm rooting for City to lose. I'm not rooting for that team to win. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do that. I'm never going to cheer for somebody else to win ever. I only choose for people to lose anyways. Right? We're winning the league, gentlemen, says Beak's Gun. I like that. Yes. I want every team to beat City. Yeah, I want City to lose every game. That's how I say it. 115 FC going down. I'll take that. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
No, thanks for everybody that came by tonight. it's good to be talking about this team when they win, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, no, I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody come by, listen to us, and enjoy it, man. Happy Wednesday morning to Tiger Gunner. So.
Yep. Happy Wednesday morning to you. Yeah, I'll be up. I got about 8-9 hours, and I'll be right there with you. If they go down, they will find it hard to get back up. No Champions League money, massive stadium debt, and sponsors bailing will make it very hard for them. Very true.
Yeah.
Very, very true. But it couldn't have happened to a better squad, so why not? They got a toilet bowl. There you go.
They can have the NFL there, I guess.
We'll beat Chelsea. Yeah, I believe we can.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. We'll do this again next week. I'll let you know if there's any changes. Otherwise, we'll be back on Saturday morning. There'll be games going on. I don't think, depending on the timing, I don't think we will be around when the city match starts. I think the city match starts at 12:30. So they'll probably be well after our show.
Oh, you're talking about Saturday.
So Saturday, yeah. Leeds played City. So you know what? Maybe we might be around. I'm not sure. I may not be able to do that one anyway. So I'll probably just be able to do about 90 minutes on Saturday anyway. So more than likely we'll be gone before that. Mr. Tom will, hopefully be cheering and happy at the end of the night. But thanks again for joining us. We'll do this again. Hit the like and subscribe, and we will see you guys on let me find my mouse, on the next one. And we are out of here.
Life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. There you go.